So, I know a lot of people are probably going to think I'm crazy. Honestly, I thought I was going crazy at first, too. For starters, ever since I was a child, I've never really felt in place. I've always been a loner. I've always been different than everybody else. I've believed that I've had more common sense than everybody else, but that is not the truth. Now, granted, better common sense than some, but may not be common to other people because we are being held back as a species. These mental illnesses, is the evolution of man. The human body is not going to create something that is going to harm itself. It is made from foreign objects. It is created to make us want to take these medications and to trust the government when we shouldn't. These mental illnesses is the evolution of man. It's the beginning of our enlightenment. It's the next step towards making to that point. Mainly, since I was a kid, I've thought I was an Antichrist. About 6, maybe 7 years old, I used to have dreams where it was nothing but white. And I'd wake up freaking out. I'd be scared. I wouldn't know what happened. I still to this day don't know, but that's a big part of what started my curiosity. I've never really been able to pinpoint like why I couldn't believe it, but I've never really believed in God. I've prayed and I've prayed and I've prayed, and I got what I've prayed for. And what got me started on my journey was what I prayed for was ripped away from me, my family. A big basis of what I'm going to be speaking of today is don't just take my information that I have sought out. And it's not information. Now, some got me started. Some information from online, and it's very little. This one video that I posted down there, that was the one video that actually really boosted it. And it enhanced my curiosity. The thing is, we have media, which I'm using right now, that is starting wars, creating hatred. It's to hide the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is the evolution of man. And to hide the fact that the government is killing the actual Illuminati. And I put the quotation marks around Illuminati because it stands for the enlightened ones. It comes from a Latin word, illuminate, and which means to light. Well, not too light, but light. And they're not enlightened. They're corrupted. They have better evolved than us. And they found out that they were evolving faster, and they wanted to slow the rest of us down so that they could stay in power. And that power has created them to become monsters. Something that they have lost sight of is the preservation of man. Everything today is to hold us back. To get okay. To get started, I'm going to cover religion. That's a big part of that is a giant part of this conversation, this video. Not conversation, this video. Our religion is fake. But everything in life, everything in this world has truth. Everything in history has truth. But not all of it is truth. It's used to disguise the truth. Because the truth cannot be completely destroyed. It can be manipulated and twisted and hidden over the years. They can take pieces and parts out that are vital to our understanding of life. We did not come from this world. My belief in heaven and hell, we came from a different world. Heaven being space. The greater worlds beyond us. And if we can reach enlightenment, then we would be brought up into the next civilization. A more intelligent species. One that Judgment Day. It says the lights will beam from the skies. That may be truth, but that may be very wrong. I've learned most of what I know from picking pieces and parts of the religions, of history, of science, evolution, every single thing, geometry, even architecture. The building blocks of life. How I became so knowledged is I sought it out myself and I thought it out. Meditation. That is truth. The body holds chakras, energy, certain points. The third eye. The third eye is not meant to be a symbol of knowledge, but it is. Because the third eye is your brain and the growth of your brain. You can learn so much from being open-minded. And this video is hopefully a push towards the stop of the government, the stop of religion, and the beginning of the better future. Self-preservation. To love, respect, and care for one another. My understanding of God is an acronym for good orderly direction and or government over democracy, meaning loss of freedom. Manipulation of the minds to create slavery. We don't know who's truly in power. But I know their goal is to hold us back. I know their goal is to destroy this world. Global warming does not exist. Pollution exists, yes. The global warming is created from the loss of our force field. And when I say force field, I'm not talking a big blue light in the sky. I'm speaking of our energy force. And our energy force is Mother Earth. She's being destroyed. We're cutting out her oxygen. We're killing her animals. We're stopping the spin of the world. The fault lines haven't gone off for hundreds of years. Volcanoes have been dying off because the molten lava within the core is dying. And let me tell you why that is. This information right here is from myself, from thought and observation. You take a plate of Jell-O, right? And this is going to sound stupid for a second, but you take a plate of Jell-O and you stick a bunch of toothpicks in it. You try to shake that Jell-O. It won't shake, but the regular, without toothpicks in it, moves, shakes, goes crazy. The world, we're putting toothpicks in it, making buildings that go under the ground. They're digging tunnels, making us think they're stone quarries. Or I could be wrong on the stone quarries, but thing is, like I said, there's truth to everything. You yourself just have to sort it out, to look for it, and find it on your own. What I say, don't take it as truth, but take it into consideration. I'm not trying to force my belief on anybody. I believe that God, or what we think as God, were aliens. Heaven. And Satan was an alien who was left behind for trying to help us. Hell. This world. Eternal damnation. He was sent here to be punished. Or left here to be punished. The Native Americans believed eagles to be God. But if you take it back to the Egyptian times, Ra. I mean, there's a lot of similarities in the religions because it all based from the same thing. They speak of Noah's Ark, a ship that brought man and animal through a flood. But what would moving stars look like? We're not of this earth, but we do live here, and we are destroying her. We are stopping the rotation of Earth. And this rotation is created by the push of the fault lines going under one another. The Earth recycles itself, pushes itself back down, making more molten lava. And that spins within the core. Hence why after these fault lines weren't supposed to go, were supposed to go off, volcanoes stopped erupting. Because we're losing that molten lava. We are losing energy. And here comes the point of that force field that I was speaking of. That force field is only an electric charge created by Earth that keeps our air locked in tight, that keeps our world living, inhabitable for us. If we did not have that bubble, we could not live here. We are meant for better. Physical possessions like phones, TVs, they're all evil. They don't matter. What matters is family. Other human beings that aren't even family. The love for one another. The want for knowledge. I am a high school dropout. I sat in school. I aced tests. Well, it shows how smart I am. I aced tests. I didn't do the homework. I didn't do the schoolwork. Because I was being taught the same thing over and over every year. It's being drilled in my head. Why? Because they think if they drill it in your head for so long, that it will become truth and that nothing can convince you otherwise. It is the year of the 7 lions. 2017. 7. God's number. God's number. 666 is the devil's number, which is false. There's another key for that, which I have yet to figure out. But I hope that this video goes viral. I hope it opens people's eyes. And you can think I'm crazy. You're allowed your own opinions. You can call me stupid, insane. It won't bother me. But knowledge swarmed upon me this year. The year of the 7 lions. The year of the 7 kings. The leaders. And I know 2 others for sure. 7 disciples. This world, if we do not change, take out these buildings, we'll destroy our world. We will die. The world will crack in half. Maybe, if it just doesn't stop. Or if it does, just stop. It speaks of the world cracking and the volcanoes erupting on Judgment Day. It speaks of a war between good and evil. evil being God, good being the Antichrist. Christ, Jesus Christ, died for our sins. He died. He may not have even died. He may have been Satan, who I believe to have been the alien left here. Or the son of the alien. There's a lot of possibilities in this world. There's a lot that the government hasn't showed us. There's a lot that the government doesn't even know. There are other forces working against us. We have to take charge. We have to make power for ourselves. Stop fighting each other and find the real enemy. Without this enemy, if we do not find him, or her, or them, and put an end to their chaos, if we, as a race, do not stand together, our world will perish, and we will die. I've been through a lot, and I believe that's because they are trying to stop me. I believe that they have had their eyes on me for a while, that they have had a prophecy, that they have had visions of my birth. But hardly anything good happens to me. And the one thing that I prayed for, and that they heard and they gave me, was ripped away and taken by them. I could be wrong. I could have just now presented my face. I could have just now presented myself, but I'm not hiding. I may die, or they may let me live. They may let people think I'm crazy. Some people will believe me. But I've been through a lot. I'd get up and I'd be brought right back down to rock bottom. I've never actually been able to get on my feet. I've had visions as a kid that disappeared for a while. I've had others speak of a black figure in which follows me. And it's not just one. It has now, to this day, been 4 people who have told me of this. And I have seen him myself as a child. And 6 days prior to my death. I died when I was 18 due to having 2 extra valves in my heart. When I was 18. I went into cardiac arrest. I'm not going to go into the whole story why I died. Or what caused my death, really. But that is the basis. I died for 6 minutes. And I was in and out 6 separate times. 6 days before my death. 6 minutes. 6 separate times. the mark of Satan. No, I am the mark of the Antichrist. I am the bringer of knowledge, the holder of truth. And whether you believe me or not, that is fine. But I have not let anyone else's words influence me. Everything that I believe today, most of what I believe today, is self-taught. There's things, like I said earlier, that I still to this day do not know. The Satanic Bible is the only Bible that states do not force yourself upon someone who does not wish it, meaning do not rape. But the old Catholic Bible states that a woman can be sold to her rapist. Doesn't sound very godlike, do you? Does it? There was truly a God. Would he let us suffer? Would he bring illness and death? Or would that be man-made, created to kill, control the population, and brainwash? Fear is key to respect. But fear is key to control. Stop taking the medications. It is to halt our evolution, the growth of our brain. Albert Einstein said that when technology takes over, we will have a world of idiots. And he was right. Because they're brainwashed. I've cut myself off of a lot of television, of use of my phone, of use of my computer. I cut myself off from the world and I sat by myself. I never felt in place. I never felt like I knew what my destiny was. Until now. This world is becoming hell. The dead shall walk the earth. As in zombies, as in mindless creatures. That does what? Eats human brains, but in all reality kills human beings. Creating, which is the brainwash from television media and the killing because of hatred, because of war, these wars that they speak of. It's for control. It's for fear. I can't say the wars don't exist because I know people who have been overseas firsthand. And I respect them for protecting us. But they're protecting us from the wrong people. This world needs to unite. The Illuminati speaks of one world order. They want power. In the end, there will be one world order. It will either be Illuminati or it will be love and all of mankind. There will be war. I may not be alive for that day. I may just be the bringer of knowledge to start that day. But everything in my life has led to this moment. They've tried to stop me. They've tried to stop the prophecy from coming true. And in the video I sent, in the video down low in the description, it speaks of a chosen one to protect those who are enlightened, to create a shield to stop the reverse. A plate deep down in the earth, but it's not a plate. The seven kings have awoken. We are here, and we are still learning. We will spread our knowledge. We will build our followers, our believers, not followers, our believers. Because I don't wish for power. I wish for love. I wish for peace. To end war. To end pain and suffering. We can do this. And do not take, like I said earlier, and even in the description, do not take my word as the truth, but be open-minded. And find your own truth. Look for what makes sense in everything. There is truth to literally everything in this world. They cannot completely destroy it. They can destroy some. Hitler was a cover-up. Now, I'm not saying the Holocaust never happened, but it was a cover-up. They believe that he took the Ark of the Covenant, that he took the spear that was used to kill Jesus Christ. The Spear of Destiny or whatever. I'm not quite sure on that term of the spear, but I do know that it is believed to have killed him. And it cannot be used to link up to who that true person is. Because I guarantee you, he is still alive today. Our species only lives to be about 100, maybe if that. We've got kids dying on the streets. Right now, honestly, I do envy them. Because this world is going to hell. It is becoming hell. But these kids are being killed because kids are so much more enlightened than us adults are today. They're innocent, untouched to the untold, or to the untouched to the lies, to the cover-ups. There's cover-ups of cover-ups of cover-ups. Like Area 51, speaking of aliens, yes, there are aliens. They were believed to have been our gods, our creators, in a vision of them. We are not of this world. But if we want to get back home, if we want to figure out where we truly belong, reach the full potential of our species, we need to get rid of technology. Machinery, it's evil. It makes us fat. It makes us lazy. In the religions, Hindu and Muslim, speaks of do not harm a cow because it is God. It is holy. And it speaks of do not eat pork because it is dirty, tainted meat. Because burgers and bacon and, beef and pork is greasy. It's fatty. It makes us fat. Cuts our potential as humans. Makes us lazy. Controls us. The medication slows our brains down, dumbs us up, makes us more susceptible to believe what they want us to. Everything in today's world is a cover-up. Schools are used to brainwash us. That's why we have to go. They can't just teach common sense and let you learn your own. Through experience. Granted, those who create us, our parents, could teach us everything that they know, pass it on. If the world were to unite, if we stopped fighting with everyone, if we stopped letting them control us, if we stood up for what is right, for what we need to do, for our preservation, for our future as a species, instead of just being slaves. We would thrive. And let me put this in a perspective for you. Another reason why I say we are not of this world. Have you ever wondered why the stars are so cool and enticing, and it's It's because we're looking for home. Have you ever walked into your house and you've got that feeling of just dreadfulness? Just a weight sitting on your shoulders that you don't want to be there, and life sucks. We're not free. We're not hunter-gatherers like we should be anymore. In the Bible it says, God told man, I have given you every seed that you need. Every seed that we need. So why do we need these tomatoes that don't go bad for so long? Why do we need all this shit that shouldn't exist? Because they are poisoning us. They put fluoride in our water. They put chemicals in our food. They fatten us up. They pour pills down our throats. They turn us into zombies by setting us in front of a TV. And drilling us with false information in school. Those of us who are meant to be of a bigger picture. We've always felt out of place. We've always thrived in school, but been uninterested. Yeah, you got your dropouts that are dumb as a box of rocks because they just can't do it because it's not easy for them. Because we're not supposed to learn it. But then there's those of us who take the truth of what we believe. We are the wolves. We are the lions. We need to stand up. And we need to hold our own. No more laying down and taking the bullshit. No more letting them destroy our world. That is not our world. But putting back to why we're here, or why I don't believe that we are from here. What is the only species that can be wiped out? On Earth, and this world thrive. Humans. We destroy. Because we follow. We follow the lead of those who believe that they are greater than us. That they deserve to be greater than us. They may have evolved a little faster. They may have saw the power and enjoyed it too much and grabbed for it. And now they're trying to destroy us. They want that power. They crave it. I crave love. I crave respect. People nowadays no longer know how to love, respect, or be humble. Nobody knows how to do something for somebody without expecting something in return. I might look like a piece of shit. I might have done some shit in my past. I am not the greatest person. I am not a saint. But I don't wish to be a saint. Because they're evil. And they're followers. They're sheep. The seven kings are reuniting. We're getting closer. And we're getting closer to figuring out the full truth. Those of us who hadn't even known each other have the same insights. I found another one that has been through so much like me. Same experiences. Same general basis of idea thought. He was a little more confused. And I spoke to him, and I let him know my understanding. And I told him, you do not have to believe what I'm saying. Because maybe not all of what I'm saying is complete truth. But I take what makes sense to me. What I can kind of create proof for. Now, I can't hold that proof right in my hand. But would your body really create cancer cells just to kill itself? To harm itself? To slow it down? Or would that be with one of the physical illnesses? A virus, a bacteria, a chemical. I used to be a drug addict, which that is another form of control. A control that puts us in prisons, locks us up, and creates even more hatred. Because you're locked up with a bunch of crazy motherfuckers who have been in there for too goddamn long. Who haven't seen the light of day forever. And that creates a monster. It creates someone who's angry at the world and wants to kill. I don't wish to kill. But when the apocalypse does come upon us and Judgment Day is here, we may have to be ready for war. But not between each other. Between us and those who wish to destroy us. And enslave us. Because that's all we are. We're slaves. We work. Sorry, my ears are getting cold. We work to get money. Root of all evil. Money. You need it to survive. We went back to how things were, trades. or favor for favor. I do this for you, you give me this. Or I do this for you, you do this for me. It would create respect, create love. It would bring back that human interaction that we no longer have. That creates us lonely souls lost here with nobody. I've only had myself for a long time. And that's why I think I know so much. Because I haven't had anybody to influence me. Now that loneliness and that lack of human interaction can either cause someone to go completely insane, or it can cause knowledge, a better understanding. Now they speak of the Spirit in the Bible. The Spirit is the energy within our bodies that keeps us alive, that keeps our heart pumping, our lungs working, our muscles moving. It is our astral form. When we reach our full potential, have you ever seen Rick and Morty, the floating beam of energy, That's basically what our final form is. If we figure out Buddhism, enlightenment, chakras, the knowledge of anatomy, the human body, the human form, and the potential of ourselves, we can do amazing things. Magic is an extension of our energy. We can release our energy from our bodies, like what happens when we die. After that 7 minutes, which DMT creates the ability of the potential to release that energy. Which is why when we die, we die. There is no afterlife. Our energy is recycled and put it into a different physical form, which creates the restart of our knowledge. I'm an old soul. I've seen a lot. I get visions in my dreams. I get warnings, I get signs. We must unite. We must rebuild. But not rebuild the buildings. Not rebuild. We need to rebuild the foundation of our purpose. And that's knowledge. It's evolution. the progression of our species. Knowledge is the biggest treasure in life. Knowledge is the key to our existence. Satanism is not about harming others. Now, there's some that believe what it speaks of is for the bettering of oneself, which I can get it a little bit, but it's not. If you really read into it and think about it, there's somewhere in there that states, do not steal. Unless it is stealing something from somebody that can harm them, that they wish to quit, but they had gotten themselves anyway. Something that could potentially harm them. That's self-preservation. That's helping others. Granted, it's not nice to take. It hurts. It sets people back. But stuff that can kill somebody and end their knowledge and restart them from square one, their soul, we need to work together. We need to finally do something about it instead of being sheep, instead of just sitting there taking it, letting this happen. If we did not have war, if we did not have hatred, if we did not have the media, we would not need law enforcement. If we did not have the FBI feeding drugs to our fucking cities and kids, husbands, wives, fathers, mothers, friends, family, anything, anybody, if they were not bringing that to us that man created, we would not have war. We would not have hate. It is used for control of the population. It is used to kill people and make it look like an accident. They're feeding these drugs to our streets. Everything is to dumb us down, control the population. They speak of, in the conspiracy theories, chips that they wish to plant in us. It's the phones. They're already here. The phone, if we didn't have them, it would render us useless in this world right now. Why? Can't get a hold of work. Oh, well, that person just left, but they're already 15 minutes down the street because they're now driving in a vehicle that gets them so much farther, so you cannot walk out the door to go talk to them. We work for so little pay, we end up with nothing in the end. I ask everybody, What's your reason for living? My family. Or I'll get people that just, I don't know. Yes, your family is important. But we are all family. We may not be of same origin, skin color, religion. I hold no religion. Even though Satan is tattooed on my hand and I have the satanic symbol on my chest. I hold no religion. But it symbolizes something for me. It symbolizes that we are back. That we are here. And we are taking our world back. And we are destroying power. Now, I'm not saying I'm creating war, because that would be an act of terrorism. But what I'm saying is we are taking a stand. And we are going to create what is right. And it is love. It is respect. And it is equality. Because we could have all, Asians versus Caucasian, African American, could have all been from different planets that had managed to contact each other. And they wanted to, just as an experiment, a test. Now, one of my theories is that they all got into a war, so one person gathered up two of every and brought us here. Another theory of mine is that it was all just an experiment to see how fast we could evolve. And they don't come here, but they're observing from afar. We are supposed to, our human bodies are supposed to live up to be thousands of years old, if not an endless lifetime. And that's if we reach our astral form, the lifetime. They speak of our physical forms getting to be 20 feet tall versus, 9, we have so much potential as a race, as a species. Now scratch the race part. We're not a race. We are a species. No, we may not come from the same countries. We may not also come from the same worlds, the same planets. But we were all born on Mother Earth. Our souls, our energy, astral form could have come from other planets. We need knowledge. And until we collect the further knowledge that we need, We sit in the dark. And we gather our pack of wolves. We grow every day. And we prepare ourselves for what's to come. We prepare ourselves for the end. Because if we do not succeed in bringing back love and respect and humbleness, we fail to save Mother Earth. We suffocate ourselves. We've failed our saviors. I know I've failed in a lot in life. I've got a lot of reasons why I'm ashamed of myself. But I've always shown respect. First. I've always craved for something better. And that's world peace, and we can't get that until we eliminate the force of evil, money, technology, machinery, the buildings, the architecture that is destroying this world. We must enlighten ourselves. I cannot enlighten you for you. Through self-teachings, we can open our third eye. We can unleash the full potential of our brains. We can become better than what we are today. If you haven't realized, the technology that we had a couple hundred years ago, or 100 years ago, it's still the same. It's just graduated a little bit. I hear people saying, oh yeah, this is so much better than this, but how so? Still a box with flashing lights that draws your attention, keeps you blinded, teaches you false information, hatred, and war. If we step away from these things and we reconnect with human interaction and show respect, show love, a general caringness for one another, We will not fail in our mission. We will succeed. We will evolve. Even organic food is not organic, still altered. Bananas, the true bananas, do not exist anymore. Why? Because they're being held from us. And it is believed that to open the full potential of your spirit energy, full potential of your physical form as well, one must drink or eat bananas and onions. Well, I'm pretty sure the true onions don't exist anymore either. But they exist. They're just limited amounts for select few. The Illuminati. The corrupt. I am no God. I am not perfect. I am a child of what they believe as God, what I believe is God. I am a child of Satan. And I am a bringer of redemption for our species. Whether you believe me or not, that is your opinion. You have every right to it. I will not be mad. I will not be sad. We are gathering up our followers, helping to better influence them, to knowledge them, get them caught up to our speed, so that they can start figuring out things for their own as well. We cannot be stopped, only held back until Redemption Day comes. Judgment Day. The end of the world is soon. But only if we don't stop those who are actually in power right now. And it is not the president, it is not the government. Even they are a cover-up for a cover-up. Those who think that there's a cover-up for the president. Yes, there's a cover-up for the president. No, the president is a cover-up for something else. But it's even beyond that. The mafia lives on. The gangs are a cover-up to create violence. We need to stop following make your own path in life. Take what you want. Be who you want to be, because that is the only way that we are going to do anything in this life. We cannot rely on a God that does not exist. We are not gods. We have blood, just like any other living being. In a technical sense, even the earth has blood, and that is the magma in which rolls around in the center. Like our hearts, it pumps our blood. There are veins of molten lava throughout the world. It's believed that the Egyptian pyramids were created to create the force field so that we could live on here without suffocating. We are believers of a better future. We are believers of love and respect and humbleness. We are a bigger believer of a greater species that we will be able to become. Stop medicating. Stop taking man-made chemicals, foods. We must work for what we need. Until we can successfully. We are trying to be the new gods and put people on Mars and do what I believe was done here. And what's another world gonna make of another species like us? That's not very far away, really. Not compared to others, maybe. Because if we do that, that's just a place for them to hide till they can come back after we're dead. Left here to perish as the world dies. Satan may be evil. Satan may still be alive, and that may be his plan, is to escape to Mars. But even Mars could be a cover-up for the planet in which he is going. Wherever his destination may be. Even he has greater plans than his followers believe. He is so much farther ahead of us in evolution. He can think so much more. But he has one thing that we don't. Or he does not have one thing that we do. And that's each other. He is all alone. Yes, he has followers. But he's scared. He's trying to hold us back. He's trying to get revenge on those who left him here. Because when they come back, he wants them to know that he has won. Maybe. And I hope that you were watching. And I may sound crazy to a lot of people. And that is okay. I can respect that. Because if I were hearing this for the first time and I hadn't had these thoughts on my own, I'd think I was crazy too. I thought I was crazy for a while. But it all started making sense. It all started tying together. I'd have these random thoughts and I'd be like, why am I thinking that? I'm crazy. Am I going nuts? What is wrong here? What's my deal? I don't have one. Our species has a deal. Our species has a problem. And that is the one in which holds power over us right now that we have not even laid eyes on, ever. He hides in the dark, scared, afraid of this day that I emerged, that I made this video, and hopefully it goes viral. Hopefully it's seen all across the world, in different countries, so that they may pick what they believe and spread love and respect throughout the rest. And we can create our one world order, which is equality. No one in charge. There shouldn't be need for law. There shouldn't be need for enforcement. We shouldn't have hate or war. We should have peace. Peace is the only thing that is going to save us. If we unite together as one unit, instead of fighting against each other, rival gangs, Bloods, Crips, Mexican Mafia, I mean, you got Lords, but it doesn't matter. Royals, stop fighting. Stop selling these drugs that the FBI is giving us. You may make money off of it, but this money is evil and it controls us. It's what enslaves us. We look towards a bigger picture. Hold our hearts dearly. The preservation of mankind. If you release your hatred towards people, and we all work together, that one or very few who holds that power, who truly holds that power, will be powerless. We won't have a need for money. We won't have a need for possessions that mean nothing in the end, have no meaning. Because when we die, our energy releases and we don't remember that. We can't remember that we were rich at one point, or if we were poor at one point. In the end, what truly matters is knowledge, to become enlightened, to reach our best form. If we did not have religion, if we did not have this history that is falsifying information, because it changes over the years. If you watch through the yearbooks, it changes up. They cut things out. They change it up. Add new information that had never been told before, to hide the truth. I believe even the Freemasons are part of the Illuminati, and they are used as an even bigger cover-up as well. I believe that maybe they are closer to the leader of this world than we think. The leader for now. I'm not speaking of the president. I'm not speaking of starting war. I'm not speaking of violence or terrorism. As I've said in this multiple times over and over again, and I will repeat it again: love, peace, happiness, and the preservation of our species. If we can accomplish this, we can break free from the tyranny. We need to be better. Better than what we have been. And if you don't see that, to be oblivious is bliss. Like they say, ignorance is bliss, because now I'm not calling anybody ignorant, uneducated at all. But what I'm saying is to not believe in something bigger than this today, to not believe that we don't have more potential than what we have right now, is heartbreaking. It creates hopelessness. And that's what creates this war and hate. They got something more than I don't. They got something more than me. I want that. I think I'm going to take that. It's time for us to stand up for our species, for our better well-being. And even if we're not going to be there when our species reaches enlightenment, for our children and their future. We need to stop what is going on. We need to stop the destruction of this world. And we need to be better.